Everyone, Cecily opened up the room a little early so we could all just say hey, tell everybody where you're from. Feel free to use the chat. We can mute you all too during, but it's just a great way to start our day. Oh my gosh.
This is Blue.
Is that a Maine Coon?
Yeah, I'm originally from Michigan, so I'm obsessed with college football, which Pepperdine didn't have, but you know, President Gash put it though. Blue, he's 7 years old. He's a little grumpy, but now that he's outside, he can go chase birds.
Oh,
That's awesome.
He's so cute. He's huge.
He's almost 50 pounds, so he might have beautiful arms.
Did he stay in the yard?
Good morning. Yeah, I'm in my backyard. I live in San Francisco. I'm extremely #blessed to live in the best part of San Francisco. I can walk to Sausalito.
Oh, that's cool.
And Rebecca, you were at the holiday party, correct? Or am I incorrect?
I was, yes. Good memory.
So we met, but I had much better looking hair and a beautiful dress on.
I remember meeting you. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, I my voice sounded a little different because I was awake.
Fair.
And there was wonderful champagne.
Indeed. Indeed there was.
Oh, it's so nice to see tons of people on here, and I see guys. Well, I see male names. I see Paul and Joseph and Jim.
Hey, if everybody can put in the chat where you're coming from and maybe why you're here, just one good note to send to everybody today would be great.
Oh, I hear a puppy.
Once we start, Cecily, I think, is fostering a few brand new puppies. So we should have just all gotten together and done some dog yoga today.
Yes, puppy yoga.
And then once class actually starts in about 10 minutes, we'll mute everybody so that way Cecily can take over and we'll just have a relaxing start to the day.
Yeah. Lots of people join in the chat. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Jennifer. Glad you guys are here.
Oh, wow. Angela, where's new brothels?
I'm in Texas, so I work for Pepperdine from Texas now. I used to live in Malibu up until this past summer, but moved here for my husband's military assignment. So thankful I get to do all this technology with you all too, and we can all join together all over the world. So
am I doing that right? Hook 'em horns, or
I think it's this way.
All of my friends are Aggies.
Yeah, and they do like the horns down and everything.
Well, bless your husband for serving.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for him, and just it's been a wild ride already being a military wife, but we're doing it.
Angela, what branch does your husband serve in?
He's in the Air Force, but he might be Space Force pretty soon, so we'll find out.
Oh shoot! There
you go.
Oh my gosh! Oh, look, somebody has a NamaStay shirt on. I love it.
Angela, ping me after this. I work for SpaceX.
Do you really? Okay, yeah.
My husband's private. When he wants to go private and make a living, let's get him up there.
Yeah, so he helped launch the last GP satellite. I guess that was a year and a half ago now, and so it's pretty wild. He does assignments out here now for his career field acquisitions. But
well, ping me after this, and thank you, Karen. I
couldn't be out here, but I think he's actually working during this instead of getting to play for a little bit with all of you guys like we're doing. So I'm thankful that Pepperdine allows this.
Angela. I mean, Cecily will talk later when, in a couple minutes, but I mean, Angela, this is about your time, right? I'm not married. I don't know the stress of having a husband.
It's also cool that all of us will be here. Oh,
hey, Kim, what's your cat's name?
George.
George?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has their animals. I don't have one. I have birds.
He walked in right as I put my yoga mat down, of course. Right on it.
Thank you all for joining. We're going to start about
animals that we just brought into our household. My husband and I are fostering a litter of 8 puppies that were born yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
We have brand new puppies. Do you want to see some?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll be right back.
Yes.
Oh, he's gonna bring them over. So the story here is that we were supposed to just foster the mama, and the babies were supposed to be born next week, but nature surprised us and the full moon came, and 8 puppies were born yesterday at the adoption center, and so now they're here on our kitchen floor.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Isn't that cool?
Oh
They're-
goodness, you're never gonna sleep, but it's
No.
wonderful.
Their eyes are closed and their ears are closed, and they just squeak and they nurse, and they're so sweet.
So what kind is it? Like, were they a mix or?
Pit bull mix. The mom looks very pit bull. There may be more mix in her, but they're all going to be up for adoption in 6 or 8 weeks.
Oh.
But
think
for
you all will
now-
keep
Dare
one or
tell me
keep
how
the
to
mama?
adopt one. Don't you dare.
It's through Wags and Walks, which is an
Okay.
LA pet adoption service, and the way they handle their pet inventory is that they're all in homes fostered out rather than like staying at a center, and so that's how they're able to serve and place as many pets as possible.
How awesome.
Hi, everyone.
I
What
love
a
that. That's
rewarding
wonderful.
quarantine activity.
Yeah.
Tired.
It's perfect for quarantine. I don't know that we would do this in our normal life, but it is perfect for quarantine. Just to give everyone a check-in and a welcome, it's 8:01. We're going to get started with yoga at 8:05. And so, oh my goodness, I love that everyone's bringing their pets over. This is amazing. But we're going to give people a couple more minutes to join in, and then I'm going to get us started with a nice gentle yoga practice. All you need today is your mat. You don't need any special gear or equipment. I do encourage you though, if you're the kind of person that likes to create a space and create an ambiance, then if you want to implement some essential oils, or if you want to play some music, I won't be doing the music because I don't want the music to fight with my audio. And so if you have a relaxing playlist that you want to press play on, now is a good time to get that going. Maybe light a candle. So do whatever you need to do to make this an enjoyable space, and we're going to get started here in 3 minutes.
And we'll mute everybody once Cecily gets going, so you can have just your time to relax and rejuvenate.
Sorry, this is the only animal I have.
Oh, Carol, I love that. So
Oh,
wonderful.
Carol, yes. What's your bird's name?
It does tweet.
This is May. She's my girl kitten. She's the sister to Blue. I adopted them while still living in Michigan, so that's Maze and Blue. I would have named them like Pepperdine colors if I had known Pepperdine existed at that time. I adopted them after I graduated, but May's my smart girl, and she loves yoga.
Oh, I love that.
She's my goat today. We'll do cat yoga today.
There you go.
She's very shy. she's very shy, but her brother is kind of mean to her. But she kicks his butt every morning, doesn't you? Don't you? Yeah. Say hi.
Oh, yay, Midwest.
Rebecca. Mike.
Hey, Rebecca, someone was asking you about your oils.
Yeah, who was asking about oils?
I'm not sure who that was. That was.
I was.
Oh, Stacey.
Sorry, my voice changes as I wake up. I'm a 12-year-old boy. Rebecca, I don't use oils at all. I would love to hear.
Okay, so I use Young Living. They are top grade. So this morning I have 2 emotional oils. I put them right on this giant gland here to warm up the emotions and to regulate them. So this morning I have Joy and I have Abundance. And Abundance is a blend oil of citrus and frankincense, ginger, patchouli, cinnamon, myrrh, all kinds of things. So it goes right here, goes on the wrists. It's an emotional oil, it goes on the back of your neck, regulates the hormones.
Right.
Yeah, I want a suggested playlist or music because, you know, unless you guys want to sing to me, I need music. What do I play? What station?
That's a good question. You know, I would send you over to Spotify, and if you just Google like a yoga playlist or
Karen,
relaxing playlist or like piano music, acoustic sets, you know, something like that.
Also, if you have Amazon Prime, Amazon Music is free, and you can type anything like a certain musician, a mood,
nice.
like you want chill, motivating.
Nice.
I was listening to Beyonce for this. That's why I'm so hyper.
That's a good tip. All right, everyone. It is 8:05, so we are going to get started. So if you would, right where you are, I think you've got your mats rolled out. So go ahead and make yourselves nice and comfortable on your mat. We are going to begin on our backs. And so go ahead and go there. Get your space situated. You've got your music going. For a moment. My name is Cecily. I am a fitness instructor with Pepperdine Campus Recreation, and so I teach fitness classes here at the Malibu campus to students, staff, faculty. I also have taught over the years at studios here in Malibu, and I am a Seaver alum. I graduated in 2010, and I also did my master's degree here at Pepperdine as well. I finished that a couple of years ago. So I love Pepperdine. I live here on campus at Pepperdine too, by the way. And so it's a beautiful day here in Malibu. For those of you who are curious, the sun is shining, and I am so glad that you are all here to join me together. And so I've been leading these classes on Zoom, 3 times a week on Zoom for the last month and a half now. And I have to tell you, I've been teaching fitness and yoga classes for almost 8 years now. And some of these classes have been some of the sweetest, I really think, because it has been a collective outcry for connection and for movement and for activity. And it really has been one of the highlights of my quarantine experience. And so I'm so thrilled that you have chosen to share part of your morning with me. And I hope that you will drop your name and your city, what location you're in the chat, and stick around and connect a little bit after our session together. But before we begin, I imagine that there are some of you who have never practiced yoga before. So to you, I say welcome. And I imagine that there are some of you who are regulars, who have a regular practice. And I also say welcome to you. I'm happy that everyone is here. And I want to remind you or tell you, if this is the first time you've heard this, yoga is an individual practice, meaning that you are on your own mat, you are in your own space. And so let go now of any desire that you may have to compare yourself to others, to compare yourself to some picture of what a yoga pose should look like. You are here to listen to your body. You're here to move your body in a way that is life-giving, and to breathe. And I will tell you that if you just lay on your mat on your back for an hour and you breathe, you're doing it right. Right? I'm just here making suggestions. And so I will make suggestions for poses when possible. I'll also give suggestions for some modifications, but really you are here to listen to your body. And so I am so glad that you are here. I also want to say thank you so much to Angela and Karen for putting this together. This is really special. And so thank you to them. Thank you to the whole office. And thank you to all of you for putting this in your schedule and taking the time. All right, so here you are on your mats. You are lying down on your back, probably. And so if you would, close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. Close your eyes, and let's start by sharing a few breaths together. So start by exhaling all the stale air out of the lungs through the nose or mouth. Just blow it out. And then inhale through the nose, breathe into the belly. And then open mouth, exhale, sigh it all out. Again, in through the nose, breathe into the belly. So really expand that diaphragm as you inhale. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it all out. And go ahead and take it through 3 or 4 full rounds of breath, slowing down the breath to the degree that you can. And as you do, notice how it feels to observe the air moving into your body and out of your body. Notice the sensations in your body this morning before you even start moving. Notice what comes up for you. Have a check-in here. I think the opportunity to slow down and check in with the breath is a representation, an illustration of what is going on in our world right now, in our life right now. It is difficult to plan for the future right now. It's difficult to imagine what our lives will look like 6 months from now, or a year from now, or even a month from now. And so paying attention to the breath is shortening our timeline. So rather than thinking far into the future, rather than making plans, rather than wondering and getting caught up in what will my life look like, can you focus on the next 2 minutes? Can you focus on the next breath? Because the breath is always now. You're never more than a few moments away from your next breath. You're never more than a few moments away from your last breath. And what is true about the breath is that you can't just breathe once and be good for the day. You can't store it up. And just like you can't eat once and be good for the month, you can't sleep once and be good for the whole week. These rhythms, these embodied needs that we have remind us of the essential practice of constantly replenishing. And this morning, part of your practice of replenishing is setting the cell phone aside, taking the shoes off and setting them aside, and stepping onto your mat in simplicity. And when we're not surrounded by possessions and we're not identifying as our job and we're not identifying as the roles that we take on in our life, and we are just ourselves, we are our bodies on our mats, we can experience the last of the human freedoms, as Viktor Frankl calls it in Man's Search for Meaning. He says that everything can be taken away from a human except for one thing. He says the last of the human freedoms, and it's this: to choose your attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose your own way. And if someone can say that about their experience in a Holocaust camp, as Viktor Frankl did, then I think we can also take that and receive that as an application to our time in quarantine and this time of uncertainty. Your freedom that you retain in any circumstance, regardless of what is taken away from you, your freedom is to choose your attitude, to choose your response. And we can acknowledge that and live into that here on the mat by choosing rest, by choosing boundaries with our time, by choosing to breathe. And so with that, if you would, reach the arms overhead toward the back and point the toes toward the front. Take a deep breath and a full body stretch. So just a nice long stretch here on the mat. And on the exhale, hug both knees to the chest. Inhale as you extend, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, hug both knees to the chest. Inhale one more time, reach, extend. Exhale, hug both knees to the chest. And now just grab hold of the right leg. And so release the left leg down onto the earth. And as you are holding onto that right knee, start to take some little knee circles here. And as you move and mobilize the knee, just checking in with that knee joint or that hip joint, relax the rest of the body. Pay particular attention to the exhales. And now just go ahead and switch legs. Switch to the left leg. Grab hold of the left knee. And as you relax the right knee down onto the earth, take some knee circles here, mobilizing the hip joint. Still paying particular attention to your exhales. All right, now go ahead and release that leg. And any way that's comfortable for you, you might roll over onto one side, but I want you to bring it up to a seated position. So any comfortable seated position, you can go, I'm going cross-legged. And by the way, this is my husband, Dusty. Everyone, hi, Dusty. He also graduated in 2010 with me. All right, so in a comfortable seated position, relax the knees toward the earth, and then go ahead and inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Again, inhale, arms overhead, reach wide, reach tall. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Inhale, arms overhead, reach, find length. And this time on the exhale, plant the left hand alongside the left hip and reach up and over toward the left, getting a nice long side stretch down the whole right side of the body, and maybe even peek up under your arm, looking up toward the sky or the ceiling, just to get a nice long side stretch. Inhale, back to center. Other side on the exhale, plant the right hand, reach up and over, nice long side stretch. Relax the shoulder down and away from the ear. And maybe even peek up underneath that left arm. Inhale, back to center. We're going to go 2 more times each side. Exhale, nice long side stretch. Support yourself with your hand. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, up and over to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, up and over to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, last side, up and over to the right. Inhale, back to center. And this time we're going to go into a twist. And so I want you to drop the arms in line with the shoulders and twist to your left. And so your right arm is going to be reaching forward. Your left arm is reaching behind you. And maybe even shift your gaze around your shoulder to peek toward the back of the room. Inhale, back to center. And we're going to switch sides. Exhale, reverse it. Drop the arms in line with the shoulders. Nice. Inhale, back to center. Exhale into that rotation. So we're just exploring rotation here with the breath. We're not cranking into it. We're just using our muscles to relax into this rotation. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, back to center. One more time each side. Here we go. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, back to center. And then release the hands down by your sides. And any way that's comfortable for you, bring it into tabletop. So tabletop, your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Nice flat back. And in a yoga practice, we tend to move our bodies with our breath. And so you probably already noticed that I'm cueing inhales and exhales. And so now we're going to take it through a few rounds of cat-cow. And so as you inhale, I want you to draw your sternum forward. Gaze goes up. Relax the belly toward the earth. So it's a little back bend. Exhale, round the spine. Tuck the chin to the chest. Press the shoulder blades together toward the sky. Inhale to reverse it. Gaze goes up. Draw the sternum forward. Exhale to round the spine. And so take it through a few rounds of cat-cow here on your own time, on your own pace. If you want to move slower than me, if you want to move faster than me, this is your practice. Keep going. Cat-cow. Okay, come back to a neutral spine here. Lengthen the crown of the head forward, tailbone toward the back, and then pick up the right leg, press the right heel back behind you, and have the leg in line with your hip. And now pick up the left arm, reach the left fingertips forward. And so we're crossing the midline here, opposite arm as leg. Instantly here, you're already noticing that there's a little bit of a load put on the midline. And so fire up the core, activate the abdominals, take an inhale to reach and lengthen. Exhale as you draw the elbow toward the knee, and maybe you can even tap the elbow to the knee. Maintain your balance. Inhale to extend, reach. Maintain that core tension. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to extend and reach. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach. Exhale, knee to elbow. Last time, inhale, reach, extend, and then on the exhale, just take it right back to tabletop. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Pick up the left leg, press the left heel back behind you, flex the foot, and pick up the right arm, reaching the right fingertips forward. Take an inhale. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach. Exhale, knee to elbow. Last time to reach and extend. And on the exhale, take it back to tabletop. All right, so from tabletop, we're going to take it back to child's pose. So bring the big toes to touch, step the knees nice and wide, and settle the hips back toward the heels. And as you do, reach the arms forward and have your forehead on the mat. And so child's pose is a resting pose. This is your opportunity to start to sink back into the hips. This is a great opportunity to come back to the breath. I'm just introducing child's pose here because think of this as a wild card. You can always come back to child's pose at any time for any reason or no reason at all. No one has to tell you to come to child's pose. And so this is your add-on, your wild card. You can use this pose at any time. And so while we're here in child's pose, again, just take a moment to check in with your body. Notice the places where your body is touching the earth, the tops of the feet, the shins, the knees, the elbows, the forearms, the palms, the forehead. And maybe while you're here, maybe turn your head to the right, to the left, just massaging the forehead into the mat. When you're here in child's pose, this is also a great opportunity to come back to that belly breath. So often when we breathe throughout the day, we're always trying to maintain a tight, rigid core because we want people to think we have a really flat tummy. But what happens there is that we're losing a lot of volume in our inhale and in our ability to breathe. And so give yourself permission to breathe into your belly. That's the most natural way to breathe. And by the way, that's the way you breathe when you're asleep. That's the way your body naturally breathes when you're not worried what your tummy looks like. So here on your yoga mat, you can take those belly breaths. All right, so from child's pose, curl the toes under, take an inhale, straighten the elbows. And on the exhale, straighten the legs, lift the hips, take it back to downward facing dog. And so start by pedaling the feet, right, left, right, left. So press one heel, then the other into the earth. Start to warm the backs of the legs, the calf muscles, the Achilles. And so here we are with our shoulders really active in this overhead position. Glance up at the hands for a moment. And let's lower the hips in line with the shoulders coming into the top of a push-up. And I just want to talk for a moment about plank. We're not going to stay here for very long. And anytime we go into a high plank, you always have the option to lower the knees to the earth, all right? So that's a great modification either now or at any point. Anytime we take it into a plank, knees down, knees up, it's your call. Take an inhale here and exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. We're going to flow back and forth from downward facing dog to plank a few times. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Tailbone toward the sky. Inhale, forward to plank. Downward facing dog on the exhale. One more time, inhale, forward to plank. And downward facing dog on the exhale. Now look back at your feet. Step your feet pretty wide, about mat width apart, and then walk your hands back towards your feet. And when you get there, take a soft bend in the knees and then slip your hands inside the elbows and just gently sway side to side. Nod your head yes, shake your head no. So we're taking some of the body weight off the shoulders. All right, release the elbows and then heel toe the feet together. You could either have the toes and heels touching, or you could put a little space between your feet for a little bit more support. On the inhale, bring the hands to the shins, halfway lift, lengthen the crown of the head forward. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, as you stand, sweep the arms overhead, reach for the sky. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms overhead, reach. Exhale, fold over the legs. So we're going to take it through a couple half sun salutations here at the back of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the crown of the head forward, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms, reach. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. One more half sun salutation. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. All right, now we're going to add a vinyasa flow from the back of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, walk it forward to plank and pause for a moment here. So the shoulders are over the wrists. Find lift between the shoulder blades here. So we're really active out of the shoulders and the upper back. Have a slight tuck under with the tailbone to activate the low belly. Take an inhale. And then with control, as slowly as possible, lower all the way to the mat. Keep the elbows alongside the ribs as you lower. So the belly touches, the tops of the feet touch, the thighs touch. And now bring the hands forward underneath the shoulders. We're going to take a baby cobra. So just peel the chest and shoulders off the mat. And the key here is that you're not putting any body weight in the hands. We're really active in the upper back. So this is an upper back posture here. Take an inhale and exhale, chin back down. We're going to take two more. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, chin back down. One more. Inhale, cobra, gazes forward. And on the exhale, press it back to downward facing dog. 2 long, slow breaths in downward facing dog. In through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. And then we're going to finish it out by walking the hands back toward the feet at the back of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms, reach. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Nice, so we're going to add some lunges here, starting from the back of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk the hands forward to plank, and we'll take it through a flow. So lower toward the earth. Inhale, cobra. Downward facing dog on the exhale. And by the way, if you practice regularly and you prefer to take a chaturanga and upward facing dog as your back bend, then go ahead and go there. And if you have no idea what I just said, then ignore that. All right, inhale, lift the right leg, lead with the heel. Exhale, step it through next to the right thumb. So keep the back heel lifted, soft bend in the back knee. Find your balance as you bring the arms overhead into crescent lunge. So the elbows are straight, palms are facing each other. Gaze is forward, neck is long. Like I said, have a soft bend in that back knee. And think about tucking the tailbone under to get a little stretch in the left hip flexor here. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, straighten the left leg and spin the left heel down onto the earth. And we're coming into warrior 2. So the arms are in line with the shoulders. Glance down at your front knee. It should be directly over the front ankle. And if you were to draw a line from your front heel to your back arch of your back foot, that's the line, that's the stance that I want you to be on. Warrior 2. Flip the right palm up. Inhale, reach forward. And on the exhale, reverse warrior. Gaze goes up. So the right fingertips toward the sky. Soften the left shoulder down and away from the ear. And by the way, your left hand could either be lightly resting on the left leg, or you could find the wrap around the backside waist. They're both good. Inhale, back to warrior 2. Exhale, circle the hands to the earth, step it back to plank and take it through a flow. Lower to the earth with control. Inhale, cobra. Downward facing dog on the exhale. 2 long, slow breaths in downward facing dog. Left side, inhale, lift the left leg, lead with the heel. Exhale, step it through next to the left thumb. All right, so same sequence here on the left. Inhale for crescent lunge. Arms are overhead, elbows are straight, palms are facing each other. Have a soft bend in that back knee, and you're balancing on the ball of the back foot. Your heel's not down just yet. Think about tucking the tailbone under, nice long stretch in that right hip flexor. Active and balanced. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, spin that back heel down and straighten up the right leg. Warrior 2. Again, glance down at the feet. The front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. Arms are in line with the shoulders. Now flip the left palm up. Inhale, reach forward. And on the exhale, reverse warrior, gaze goes up. But keep that knee bend in the front knee. So even though you can't see it, feel where it is in space. Inhale, back to warrior 2. Exhale, circle the hands to the earth. Step it back to plank and take it through a flow. Or you can skip it, and we'll all meet in downward facing dog. And then let's close this out by walking the hands back toward the feet, coming into a forward fold at the back of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Okay, I'm getting down here so I can see you. So now that we've learned that nice sequence of lunges and warrior poses on the right side, and then again on the left side, we're gonna move through the same sequence that you've already learned, just a little bit faster this time. We're gonna connect breath to movement, and I'll talk us through all of it. If you didn't already work up a little bit of heat and a little bit of sweat, you probably will at this point. All right, here we go, at the back of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, walk it forward and take it through a flow. Inhale for cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 long, slow breaths in downward facing dog. Slow it down, breathe it out. Right side, inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it through next to the right thumb. Inhale, rise for crescent lunge, find your balance. Warrior 2 on the exhale. Flip the right palm up, inhale, reach forward. Reverse warrior on the exhale, gaze goes up. Inhale, back to warrior 2. Exhale, circle the hands to the earth, step it back to plank, take it through a flow. Two long, slow breaths in downward facing dog. Other side, inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through next to the left thumb. Inhale for crescent lunge. Warrior 2, exhale. Flip the left palm up, inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior, gaze goes up, nice long side stretch down the left side. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, circle the hands to the earth, step it back to plank, take it through a flow. Two long, slow breaths in downward facing dog. Slow it down, breathe it out. All right, now go ahead and walk the hands back toward the feet, coming into a forward fold at the back of the mat to close it out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. All right, so release the hands down by your sides, and we're gonna take a balancing pose. So here at the back of the mat, shift all of your body weight to your right leg, and then pick the left knee up in line with the hip. And so the idea here is that the left femur is parallel with the earth and the left foot is flexed. And now check in with your standing leg. Your right leg is nice and straight and strong, gripping into the earth. Straighten the knee. The hips are level. And now if you've got your balance and you're feeling pretty good about that, draw the left knee out to the side. So you're opening it up like you're opening up a screen door. And then press the sole of your foot against the calf muscle. Or you could lower it down and press it against the ankle. Or if you're feeling pretty good about your balance, reach down and pick the foot up and have it up above the knee joint. But either way, you don't want to be putting pressure against the hinge joint of the knee. So you want to have your foot either above or below the knee. And keep using that strong outer hip to keep drawing the left knee out to the left. So imagine that there's like a force field down the front of your body and you don't want your knee to drift forward and touch it. All right, now if you've got your balance and you feel like you can do something with your arms, inhale, arms overhead, reach. And you can keep the arms overhead, or you can bring the hands to heart center. This is called tree pose. So think of your standing leg as your nice strong trunk, your toes as the roots, your arms as the limbs and branches. And find balance. Ooh. And if you fall out of it, just get right back into it. Inhale, bring the arms overhead again. Exhale everything down. Shake the leg out. And so we're just going to go right into it on the other side. Shift all of your body weight to your left leg. Bring your right knee up in line with the hip. And flex the foot. And I just want to say real quick that you might have differences in balance between your right and left side. So don't get too wrapped up into whether this side is going to be easier or harder than the other and what could have happened to have made that happen. Just go with it. That's why yoga has a lot of asymmetrical poses, because it's important to build that strength and flexibility on one side and also build that strength and flexibility on the other side. We build it together. All right, so check in with your standing leg. If you're feeling pretty good, straight and strong with the standing leg, shift that right knee out to the side like you're opening up a screen door and press the sole of your foot against the calf muscle or the inner thigh or the ankle. And again, if you're feeling pretty good about your balance, inhale, arms overhead. And maybe you keep your arms overhead, keep reaching them for the sky, or maybe you bring the hands to heart center. Maybe you can take a different expression with the arms. Remember to breathe. It is tempting to hold our breath when we are balancing, as though that somehow helps things. Remember to let your breath be even and soft. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale everything down. Nice job. Okay, so come on back to the back of the mat if you wandered, and inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, walk it forward to plank, take it through a flow, or you can skip it and we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it through next to the right thumb. Inhale for crescent lunge. Warrior 2 on the exhale. Flip the right palm up, inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior, gaze goes up. Inhale, back to warrior 2. And this time on the exhale, bring your right elbow to your knee and reach your left fingertips up toward the sky, side angle. All right, so if this feels pretty good and you feel like you could maybe go a little bit deeper, then with your right hand, go ahead and place the right hand on the earth just inside of the right big toe. So this is an option for side angle. You can always go back to putting your elbow on your knee too, by the way. And if you want to have a little extra challenge here in side angle, there's a bind that you can take. Reach the left fingertips around behind the back. And then pick up the right hand. Can you reach under and behind your thigh and grab hold of your left hand? Can you keep that front knee still over the front ankle? Can you remember to breathe? Maybe even shift your gaze up toward the sky. Remember what we talked about, shortening the timeline. I know it would be torture to stay here for an hour, but can you stay here for the next 5 seconds? On the next inhale, unwind, reach the left fingertips up toward the sky. Exhale, circle the left hand to the earth, and we're gonna reverse this. So pick up the right arm, reach the right fingertips toward the sky. And so you're rotating the midline toward that right inner thigh. Take one more inhale. And on the exhale, circle the right hand to the earth, step it back to plank, take it through a flow. Nice job. Pay particular attention to the exhale. Think of the exhale as your exhaust system. Left side, inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through next to the left thumb. Crescent lunge on the inhale. Warrior 2 on the exhale. Flip the left palm up, inhale, reach forward. Reverse warrior on the exhale, gaze goes up. Inhale, back to warrior 2. Side angle on the exhale. So the elbow finds the knee first, just to kind of check in, see where you're at. And if you want to take it a little bit further, float the left hand down onto the earth, just inside of that left big toe. The right fingertips reaching toward the sky still. All right, and so for those of you who couldn't see it on the other side, you'll be able to see the bind on this side. If you want to try taking it, bring the right arm around behind the low back. And then can you pick up the left arm? And can you grab hold of the fingers behind the left glute? Keep that knee bend in the left knee. Remember to breathe. Pay particular attention to the exhale. If you've got your balance, maybe you shift your gaze toward the sky. Where can you soften? Where can you find a sense of ease, a sense of lightness? On the next inhale, unwind, reach the right fingertips back up toward the sky, re-support yourself. Exhale, circle the right hand to the earth, lift the back heel, and we're gonna unwind into this revolved side angle, left fingertips up toward the sky. Breathe into that left hip. Take one more inhale, and on the exhale, circle the left hand down, step it back to plank, take it through a flow. Nice job. 2 long, slow breaths in downward facing dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet to close it out into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. We're going to take it through one more sequence, this time paying particular attention to a hip flexor stretch, hip flexor opener. So we're going to move through a similar sequence, and then we're going to spend a lot of time on a nice long stretch before we move into floor stretches. Here we go. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk the hands forward, take it through a flow. Right side, inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it through next to the right thumb. Crescent lunge on the inhale. Warrior 2 on the exhale. Flip the right palm up, inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior, gaze goes up. Inhale, back to warrior 2. Exhale, circle the hands, plant the left hand, lift the back heel. Inhale, reach the right fingertips toward the sky. So we've been here before in this revolved side angle. You can stay here if you like this stretch, or we've got some options. You can try wrapping the arm around the backside waist, finding a little bit of a half wrap here, And this is nice because this pulls the stretch into the front of the right shoulder, just kind of invites that right shoulder into this little twisty party in the upper back. If you want to lower the back knee to the earth, oh, I'm getting a call. Sorry. If you want to lower the back knee to the earth, then that can take a little bit of the pressure off of that back leg and pull that stretch into the left hip flexor here. The left hand is directly beneath the left shoulder. And then one more option, by the way, you could pause at any of these. One more option for you will be to reach back, bend the, oops, sorry guys, there we go. Bend that left knee and reach back, grab hold of that left foot and pull the stretch into the left hip flexor. And breathe. Again, in some of these more intense stretches or these intense holds, it becomes even more important to pay attention to the breath. Pay attention to complete inhales, complete exhales. We use the breath both to regulate and to maybe let go of a little bit of heat, but we also use the breath to calm the body, calm the muscles, and send that nonverbal message that, yeah, we're doing all right. Everything really is all right. We can do this for a few more moments, maybe not forever. We can do this for the next 5 seconds. All right, go ahead and slowly release that back foot. Press the right hand into the earth, step it back to plank and take it through a flow. All right, we're gonna do that same sequence on the left side. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through. Crescent lunge on the inhale, reach, find your balance. Warrior two on the exhale. Lift the left palm up, inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse, warrior gaze goes up. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, circle the hands to the earth, plant the right hand. Inhale, reach the left fingertips up toward the sky. So this is your revolve side angle. And like I said, you could stay here and not move into these modifications that I'm about to show you. So you might find that wrap around the backside waist if you want to pull that stretch into the shoulder. And then you've also got the option to lower the back knee to the earth in preparation to reach back and grab hold of that left or that right foot. Pretty intense stretch for the hip flexor and quadricep. And so perhaps move into it by degrees. All right, you might, in the first couple of seconds in this stretch, all those alarm bells might start to go off. And maybe agree with yourself that you might stay for 2 breaths. And if it doesn't get a little bit easier in 2 breaths, then you come out of it. Notice what comes up. And then let's slowly unwind and come out of it any way that's comfortable for you. Press the palm to the earth, step it back to plank, take it through a flow. All right, go ahead and lower the knees to the earth. We're gonna slow it way down here. So here in tabletop, what I want you to do is just pick up the right foot and step it forward next to the right hand. So you've got your front knee over the front ankle and you've got your back knee grounded. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use our breath to flow back and forth from one last hip flexor stretch to a hamstring stretch. And so take an inhale here, and as you exhale, roll that right leg towards straight and maybe flex the toes toward the sky. You don't have to be able to straighten up the leg, by the way. You're just moving it towards straight. If you feel a stretch in the hamstring, you're doing it right. Inhale, bring that front knee back over the front ankle. So like I said, we're moving with breath. Exhale into that hamstring. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale into that hamstring. One more time, inhale, bring it forward. And exhale into that hamstring. And this time we're gonna hang out here for a few breaths, all right? And so get nice and comfortable here in this hamstring stretch. And something that I like to do is I like to find a little bit of a rotation of the leg in the hip socket. So it's almost like I'm smashing a bug underneath my heel, just getting a little rotation to the right, to the left. Starts to get into not just the middle of the hamstring, but also the outer, that IP band, maybe the inner thigh a little bit. There's a lot going on, a lot of powerful muscle fibers down the back of the leg, and they all deserve a little bit of love, and you can give that in this pose. All right, now rebend that front knee, replace the front foot, and just step it back to tabletop. And we're just gonna go right into this on the other side. Pick up the left foot, step it forward next to the left hand. And you know where we're going now. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, roll that left leg towards straight. Flex the toes toward the sky. Inhale, bring that front knee forward over the front ankle. Exhale, roll that left leg straight. And follow your own breath. Take it through 3 or 4 full rounds of breath here before we pause and make it a long static hold. Some of you might also feel this stretch in the low back too. As you hinge forward over the hamstring and you bow the upper body down, there might be a nice stretch here in the low back, mid back for you. All right, now on this next exhale, hang out for a few breaths here. Get nice and comfortable and maybe find a little rotation in the hip, the left hip joint here. Right to left. All right, go ahead and bring it back to tabletop. And just like how we started our practice, we're going to take it through a few rounds of cat-cow here. So inhale as you lengthen the sternum forward, gaze goes up. Exhale as you round the spine, tuck the chin to the chest. Use your breath to guide you through this full range of motion here, and maybe notice any changes that you've brought about in your spine, in your muscles, in that openness through the joints. All as a result of your practice. It didn't take any special equipment. You did that. All right, go ahead and bring the legs around in front of you. And we're going to take a reclined figure 4 before we take a resting pose Shavasana and we wrap this up. So go ahead and roll back, hook the right ankle over the left knee. And then with that right ankle, have the right ankle flexed, and as you pull the left knee toward the face, rotate the right knee away from you, getting a little stretch in that left outer hip. Nice deep breath. And then let's go ahead and switch sides. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. Flex the feet. And as you press that left knee away from you, pull the right knee toward the face, getting a nice rotation in that left outer hip. All right, and then go ahead and one more time, hug both knees to the chest. Pick the head, pick the shoulders up, pick the tailbone up, curl up into the teeniest, tiniest little ball you can. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, release the arms, the legs, your chest, your shoulders, your jaw. And we're going to move into a final resting pose here. And so whatever that looks like for you, most people like to recline on their backs, but if you prefer to find a resting pose that's seated or on your side or on your belly, there's no right or wrong way to take a resting pose, but ultimately it should be one that allows you to close your eyes, allows you to breathe, and allows the full benefits of your practice to sink into your joints, your muscles. And we'll be here for a couple minutes and then I'll bring us out of it. Shavasana. And slowly begin to reawaken the body, wiggle the fingers, the toes, roll out the wrists, the ankles. And then reach the arms overhead toward the back, point the toes toward the front. Take a deep breath and a full body stretch from fingers to toes and everything in between. And then on the exhale, roll over to one side. And when you are ready, slowly press back up to a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you. Lightly rest your hands on your knees. Close your eyes when you get there. And once more, come back to that foundation of awareness in the midst of stillness. Acknowledge that from breath to breath, from moment to moment, you always have the freedom to choose. The freedom to choose your response, the freedom to choose your attitude, the freedom to choose your way. On the next inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice. Have a beautiful day. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. If I could ask one final request, I thought it would be really fun, kind of a little community activity, if everyone would just share one thing that you're grateful for, one thing that you, it could be a circumstance in your life, it could be a relationship that you have, something that, or an experience that you've had, but just add that in the chat. I think that would be a really great way to close this out and share that with each other. I'm so grateful for all of you for sharing this time with me, for being willing to tune in from across the country and maybe even around the world and share this time together. It has been truly meaningful to me. So thank you so much.